Yes.
So before I begin today, are there any questions about anything? We have three assignments. You guys have done AI agents and you've done the reward function. The next assignment is the RLHF, right? That's not due today, but it's an important one. So let's take a look at that one at this point. That's reinforcement learning through human feedbacks using the TRL library. So let's take a look. So we're going to go here, RLHF. So when is that due? So that's due March 12th. March 12th. Huh? Oh, that's today? Okay. So how's that going? Do you guys need more time for that one? Yeah? Huh? Yeah? More time? All right. We can schedule it for the week after spring break, I guess. So that would be, is that okay? Does that work? Yeah. You'll get one more assignment and then the term project. So there will be one fast AI homework. We're currently at week 9, so we're kind of in the middle of the semester. You'll get one fast image type of transfer learning problem, and then the term project, which we can talk about. All right. But this one is really important to do. And I know it's hard, but um, you know. So I'll kind of go over it again today to stress it. Let me look at my calendar just to confirm. I haven't thought about the term project, but you should start thinking about it. Something to do with transfer learning and just it can be your idea. You know what I mean? Of something you want to do related to the topics in the class beyond the labs, obviously, much more advanced. Got it? So start thinking about that. Projects here are worth like 20% of your grade. So yeah. So let me take a look at the calendar here. All right. So spring break is next week, as you know, from the 17th to the 21st. So no class next week. You're off on holiday. And then the next class would be on the 26th. So we can make the assignment due the RLHF due that day. All right. So that's going to extend this. Make the due date for it 26. Okay. So that's been updated now, I believe. March 26 and March 29. Any questions about this assignment? Remember the goal of it. You can use one of the reward functions. So actually today's lecture is a little bit related to the reward functions, given that you've learned how to do one zero shot, right? So you played with that. You've also just taken a BERT and used it. Today I'm going to show you how to fine tune a BERT to be a BERT classifier. So that's kind of what today's lecture. I think last week we fine-tuned a GPT with the Hugging Face transformers, didn't we? Yeah, we did that. So you have that code already. So you can see it's the same theme. I'm doing, initially we started the semester doing just inference, right? So we were just using an AI agent as is, a BERT model as is, a GPT-2 as is to do inference, right? Now we're at a stage where we're doing, and then we've talked about reinforcement learning through human feedbacks, which is the process that just kind of gets us to a chat GPT, right? That final step. And now I'm covering like the part in the middle, which is to fine tune a model. So we've done, and I think let me go to the repo. So it's under, I had them under Colab. I changed the name to just say fine tune, so just make a note of that, okay? I changed that name. This is the one I did some time ago. We fine-tuned a GPT. Today we're gonna do fine-tuning a BERT. And so that's what we're going to cover, right? So those are the scripts. As far as the RLHF project, I just want, before I forget, I think I provided this example of sentiment analysis. So you need to fine tune your GPT with TRL using a reward function. And remember that one important thing at the end is to have this, right? So don't forget to have that. You give the model a query, it provides a response before and after the RLHF process, right? And so I need to see the response before, the response after, and also we use the reward model itself to measure those values. So obviously after fine tuning with RLHF, that text should be more like something that the reward model likes, right? So if we're trying to make horror, this is a reward model for horror, so it'll say it looks more like horror. Does that make sense? So this in particular is very important for your test. Got it? Are there any questions about this assignment? This is one of the more important ones that I want to make sure you guys do correctly. Unfortunately, at this point, we can't do these things in PyTorch from scratch. Nobody does it. Nobody is expected to do that. Everybody does this through Hugging Face transform. So this is the standard today as it's more flexible and better. But, it'd be nice to be able to do that. So that'd be a nice project, for instance. Anyway, that's the RLHF homework. I kind of summarized it again. Any questions? It's all clear. All right. So today's lecture, once again, revolves a little bit around this RLHF project. Homework, which is homework 3. Homework 2, to recap, it's essentially, you have RLHF and you have 2 models, a GPT, and then you have a reward, a BERT or something, providing feedback as a reward function to train this model, right? So it's key that we get a good reward model, a good. And for these reward models, one thing we can use is BERT scores, right? Or we can use the 0-shot approach. So you've studied those 2, and that was homework 2, right? We're comparing if we can use a BERT score as is. And the problem with that is we have to use literally what's in the GitHub, in the Hugging Face hub, right? We can only use what's there. With 0-shot, we have a little bit more flexibility because now we can grab a model, give it classes, and see how it performs. A third option, which I'm not saying you have to do this for your homework assignment, but a third option would be to grab a BERT and we fine-tune it for our classification test. You guys see that? For our specific classification test. So that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to fine-tune a BERT. Distill BERT, so something, this actually runs on CPU, at least on my Macs. Yeah, so there's that. So we're going to do that one. And one difference this time around is instead of using a data set from like a data sets library, we're going to use data in just like CSV files. So that should be pretty nice because it gives you a little bit more flexibility now of just you have your own data, right? Instead of being limited to some data set. So that's kind of what we're doing today, right? So I'll do this example. And then after that, of course, we'll take our break and then you guys start with the presentations. Okay. All right. I don't know where everyone is, but I do want you guys to try out the Scholar again. So that concludes kind of the recap and going over the homework assignments. So I'm going to pause the video here and then we'll start with the lecture.